Many learners stay silent at work because weak English creates fear, shame, and missed chances to share valuable ideas openly.
I agree, Annie. Silence becomes a habit when people worry about grammar mistakes, pronunciation problems, or being judged by confident English speakers.
But some people believe staying quiet is safer than speaking wrong English, even if it slowly damages confidence, growth, and professional relationships.
That safety is an illusion because silence often communicates incompetence, while imperfect English still shows effort, courage, and willingness to improve.
I've met talented employees who avoided meetings completely, simply because they feared questions, follow-ups, or sudden discussions in English environments.
Exactly, and managers may never discover their true skills since silence hides intelligence more effectively than broken English ever could.
Do you think schools are responsible for creating this fear by overcorrecting mistakes instead of encouraging communication from early learning stages?
Absolutely. Many classrooms punish errors, teaching students that mistakes are shameful instead of natural steps toward fluency and confidence.
This mindset follows learners into adulthood, where they freeze during interviews, presentations, or even casual office conversations with colleagues.
And sadly, those silent moments can cost promotions, opportunities, friendships, and self respect, all because English was never practiced freely.
Some listeners might ask, how can someone break this silence after years of holding back and feeling insecure about English?
The first step is accepting imperfect English proudly, speaking daily, and remembering communication matters more than flawless grammar or accent.
I like that point because native speakers also make mistakes, yet they continue speaking confidently without apologizing every single sentence.
Exactly. Confidence grows from usage, not perfection, and silence only strengthens fear, while speaking weakens it gradually.
However, people often say, others will laugh at me, which becomes a powerful excuse to remain silent forever.
True, but most listeners are supportive or indifferent, and those who mock are revealing their own insecurity, not your weakness.
Let's talk about emotional damage, because staying silent repeatedly can create frustration, regret, and even anger toward oneself.
Yes, many learners later say, I knew the answer, but my English stopped me, which is extremely painful.
This silence can also affect personal life, stopping people from making friends, traveling confidently, or expressing feelings clearly.
Language is freedom, Annie, and poor English should never imprison someone's thoughts, dreams, or voice in any situation.
Do you think thinking in English daily can reduce hesitation and help people respond faster during conversations?
Definitely. Thinking in English trains a brain for quick responses, reducing translation delays that cause awkward silence.
Another issue is pronunciation fear, where learners worry one wrong sound will expose their background or education level.
Accents are identities, not defects, and clear communication matters more than sounding native or copying someone else's voice.
I've noticed people nodding silently, pretending understanding because they're afraid to ask questions in English.
That's dangerous because misunderstanding instructions can create serious mistakes, stress, and long term professional consequences.
So silence becomes a survival technique, but ironically, it creates more problems than it solves over time.
Exactly. Speaking broken English today is far better than staying silent and regretful for years.
What practical advice would you give someone watching this podcast who relates deeply to this silence?
Start small. Speak one sentence daily, record yourself, join safe speaking spaces, and celebrate effort, not accuracy.
I love the idea of safe spaces because judgment-free practice can slowly rebuild confidence, damaged by past experiences.
That's why platforms, Teachers and friends must encourage speaking, listening patiently, and correcting gently.
Social media also plays a role, showing perfect speakers, which sometimes discourages beginners from even starting.
Comparison kills progress. Everyone's English journey is different, and fluency timelines should never be compared.
Let's address age, because adults often believe it's too late to fix poor English habits.
That belief is false. Adults can learn effectively with discipline, exposure, and emotional readiness to make mistakes.
Silence also affects leadership, because leaders must speak, guide, and inspire, which poor English fear can block.
Yes, many potential leaders remain invisible, not because they lack vision, but because they lack spoken confidence.
Do you think English learning should focus more on speaking than writing during early stages?
Absolutely. Speaking builds confidence first, while writing and grammar can be polished gradually alongside communication practice.
I stayed silent once during a group discussion and later realized my idea could have helped everyone.
That regret is common and it should motivate learners to speak next time, regardless of the English quality.
Silence also teaches others to ignore you, which slowly damages professional identity and self worth.
When you speak, people notice you. When you stay silent, they forget you exist.
That sentence hits hard, but it's true and necessary for learners to hear honestly.
Our goal isn't perfect English, Annie. It's fearless communication that opens doors and builds meaningful connections.
So the message is clear. Silence is expensive, while speaking imperfect English is an investment in growth.
Exactly. And to everyone listening, your voice matters more than your grammar. So please start speaking today.
Many viewers might realize their silence started in childhood, when classmates laughed and teachers corrected harshly instead of encouraging brave attempts.
Those early wounds stay deep, Annie, but healing begins when learners choose courage today instead of carrying yesterday's embarrassment forever.
Silence also creates overthinking, where people mentally rehearse sentences but never actually speak them aloud.
Yes, that mental rehearsal wastes energy, while real speaking builds muscle memory and natural flow far more effectively.
Sometimes learners wait for perfect English days that never arrive, delaying action year after year.
Perfection is a moving target, and fluency only comes when people accept imperfect starts and consistent practice.
I've noticed silence increases anxiety, making the heart race whenever sudden English interaction becomes unavoidable.
That anxiety reduces once speaking becomes routine, proving fear is strongest before action, not after.
Some people avoid phone calls completely because they can't rely on facial expressions or gestures to support weak English.
Phone fear is common, but regular short calls train listening skills and confidence faster than silent avoidance.
Silence can even affect respect because people wrongly assume quiet individuals lack opinions or knowledge.
Speaking up corrects that misunderstanding and shows presence, intelligence, and engagement instantly.
What role does daily listening play in helping silent learners finally find their voice?
Listening builds familiarity with patterns, phrases, and rhythm, making speaking feel less risky and more natural.
Some learners feel jealous watching fluent speakers, which further pushes them into silence.
Instead of jealousy, they should study those speakers, copy phrases, and remember fluency was once difficult for them too.